Warning. This program is intended for adults of legal drinking age. Whiskey is consumed in disgust. The intent is to educate our palates on the differences of whiskey flavors and not an intent to get drunk. Please drink responsibly.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to I Fucking Love Whiskey. My name is Andrew Pierce, and if you had to guess, would you say that I like whiskey, or do I fucking love whiskey? Well, the latter.
Choose B. I choose B. I choose because I also.
As always,
Andrew,
I'm here with Joseph Limbaugh.
It's me. I'm Joseph Limbaugh. I also fucking love whiskey, and I'm so excited because I have one of my oldest and dearest friends on the show today, Robert Covarrubias, and one of my favorite people in the world, an amazing improviser, super talented actor, and he's going to drink some whiskey with us.
Yeah,
Robert.
I'm gonna learn to love. No, wait. I'm gonna learn to fucking love whiskey. Is that how?
That is the goal.
We can only hope. We
That
can
is the
only
goal.
hope.
Yes.
Robert also informed us that he's an avid pickleball player, but we are not going to be talking about pickleball on the show.
Well, you see, you mentioned that, and are people watching and also doing that chat thing on this?
Yes, they are. Yes,
Well,
they are.
you watch how it blows up.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see how many people come to the aid of pickleball.
Yeah, we'll see if your chat is as exciting as Jessica Lynn Verdi's was, because that was she brought quite a few people into already someone is like, I love pickleball too.
Tipsy asparagus.
All right. I guess we're going to be talking about pickleball the entire show. I guess you were wrong.
That could
Robert.
be. Although, and we're going to taste 4 whiskeys. The approximate time codes are in the bottom corner there. You can skip ahead if you want to see what we think about a particular one. But we're going to start with this one, which is, whiskey's for everyone. This is such an approachable whiskey.
Except for children.
Except for children. But everyone else, this is Glenfarclas. This is a 21-year-old, but you can get, a Glenfarclas pretty much any bar. It's such a widely available brand. This doesn't say much else except it is 21 years old and a product of Scotland. So it is on a Highland.
You said you can get Glenfarclas anywhere. Is this a special Glenfarclas or it's just?
Well, this is 21 years old. I think the general Glenfarclas you get is like 12 or something like that. But
all right.
As we know, as we've said, age does not necessarily mean quality.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Wee Beastie, a delightful 5-year Ardbeg is great Scotch. And it's only $40, I think. Like it's a great, like if you're like, I want to drink great Scotch, but I don't have thousands of dollars. You know what? I also don't have thousands of dollars. But
you can still get great whiskey. Yeah. You just have to be looking for it in the right places. So here we go. You ready?
That's nice. Yeah, I'm smelling it already.
Whoa.
Is that strong? You don't have to. If you take the lid off, yeah, there can be a.
But I can see why you have the lid on. It's kind of holding it. You take it out, and it just boom. It just.
Now with the warm up, you were saying that the warm up smelled like honey. I think this smells more like honey. This smells more sweet to me than the first whiskey. That was just we had a blended banknote as our warm up, but this to me smells. Yeah, it smells nice.
I think we got a little sherry influence in here.
It looks like
really
it.
Say on the bottle.
But it's I think this is like for it is like for 21-year-old there is like just everything's all mellowed out. There's every round corners, for me, like there's no generally with 21 years there's nothing that's like I'm Scotch. It's like, hey man, I'm Scotch. Enjoy it,
Well, are we sipping now or are we talking more?
You obviously want to get into the sipping.
Yeah.
That's the fun part, right? We can sip now if you want.
Let's
Ooh, boy.
Man, yes, there's a sweetness to it. Very nice.
Oh. This is refined. This is like got a cinnamon, almost maybe not quite coconut, but
it definitely has
something
a toasty,
kind of fleshy.
Like a toasted coconut or like a roasted nutty, sweet nutty quality to it. Like it has a little bit of a bite to it. For more than you would expect for a 43%, but it's not like a huge bite, Yeah. It's very smooth.
What are you having? What are you experiencing, Robert?
Everything you said, it was right there. I mean, there was the sweetness, there was a little bit of a bite, but then these roasted notes that you were talking about too. It's just so nuanced. Yeah, it comes at you in waves.
Yeah, it does have a nice finish too. Like it's a very like just fine whiskey. Like it's like you know, like it's like a start. I feel like this is a starter whiskey for going into sitting into an elegant lounge of whiskeys. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not a starter whiskey for someone at a bar. It's a starter whiskey for someone who appreciates whiskeys, kind of.
Right, going to sit down in a leather chair and nice library. And so I get this. My dad was a lawyer, but at some point he went to a place called the Smuggler's Inn, which had these huge kind of pirate chairs made out of 4x4s. And he decided he was going to make his own version of these. And so he brought in pallets of 4x4s and started constructing these chairs in the basement. And I had to oil each one once it was all put together. And that's what I'm getting right here. I'm in that basement trapped making like 109 of those fuckers.
You had to make 109 of those chairs?
109, because not just our living room, our dining room, not just there, but also he wanted one for his offices. And he was a lawyer, and so he had all of these, you know, rooms and conference rooms, and he wanted one for like every lawyer and every conference room.
Did you get paid for that? Like, I feel like that's.
I got room and board.
Wow.
And so this reminds you of that because what you're spelling a little 2x4 in this or what?
Just, you know, that oily wood,
stain.
you know, the sawdust there and you got the oil and just.
Yeah, it does.
So it's
smell
a
like
melancholy.
You're oiling wood or leather, like you're rubbing it down. You know, I do love. Once again, I love my favorite nose is I love the nose always of whiskeys, but like when you take your first sip and go back into the nose, like I love that. The second nose is always my favorite.
Wow. I have to admit something. You know, prior to this, my experience of whiskey, the times that somebody had said, "Hey, have some whiskey," or it had been this kind of you drink and it just burns. That was it. These two that I've tried thus far, this one has a slight little, but I never knew that it had all of these subtleties to it. I mean, so I'm becoming converted. It's like it's just knowing the right one because who knows what they served me. It could have been some crap.
And keep in mind, like as we go, we will be going up in alcoholic content during the show. But ideally, because we're stepping stone up, it won't. At no point will that be harsh. I mean, sometimes one of them is kind of like whoa, but yeah, that's
right.
You know that's the way to do it.
And we're trying to also give you a curated experience by doing that, right? If this person gave you something that was like 48%, you hadn't had anything else first, it could be like one of those shocks to your system.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you guys a question though.
Of course.
Okay.
So I've been watching, you know, I like watching Succession, you know, Billions, and inevitably in those shows, these guys are talking and they're pouring themselves whiskeys or bourbons. I'm assuming. I'm always wondering what do you think they're serving these people with tons of.
I bet they're having a whiskey that probably is a fine whiskey or Scotch, but is really just rare and very expensive on auction because. Having done this, there's like two kind of schools of whiskey. There's people who really just fucking love whiskey, and it's like, and I mean, Andrew and I are in that. Like, I'll taste anything. Like, anything. I'll taste anything. Like, give me some.
We kind of want to taste everything.
We do. I mean, we do taste a lot of fancy scotches on the show, but like we've also had some other stuff, and it's like I love all whiskeys. So, but the thing is, like, you don't have to spend a lot of money to have a good whiskey. So I think a lot of times. People who have a lot of disposable wealth, they will buy something just to be like, this whiskey costs, you know, $1,000 a sip. And it's like, okay, well, that doesn't mean it's good. You know, like, yeah.
And what I noticed too is, these are just the actors in the scene, but they pour this whiskey and then they drink it and there's no appreciation. It's just, and then next line. So that's been kind of curious to me. It's like,
you know what I think that is, Robert? I think that's bad acting.
Okay.
Because you're not really experiencing that. You're probably drinking apple juice, so you're not really putting yourself in the mindset of someone who's experiencing
drinking
good whiskey.
Tea, probably.
I think you're onto that. Because, you know, when we would do scenes, improvisational scenes, and inevitably that there might be that space work shot of something. Personally, I would always try to taste something, you know. It wasn't and then it's and it's got to go down in some way. And it
Right. Make a choice. What did you experience just then?
Right, right.
Yeah.
And and so this is the whole thing with improv and in life. You bring to the work what you know, what you've experienced. So now, if I'm in a scene and somebody's going to pour me some whiskey, now I've got in my memory banks all these very two so far and more to come experiences of well, you know what I'm saying? So now it becomes more nuanced, and the audience is going, "Whoa, what did he just drink?" You know,
What did he taste? I want some of that. That sounds really
I think it was Glenfarclas, you know, or something.
Well, that is why I wanted you on the show, Robert, was to, improve your improv.
Well,
Not that there's it needs any, but I, might as well always upgrade, right?
Robert in the chat, Simcoe3 is asking, were you drinking whiskey or were you drinking bourbon? So Scotch or bourbon? Like, what did the person hand you?
When the person handed you something. Was it bourbon or was it Scotch?
Here again, I wasn't even aware of what it was.
It was just whiskey.
It was just here, have some hard liquor.
Did the person have a mustache?
No.
Okay, well, that's it.
Yes, she did, and it was quite disturbing.
Yes.
I just want to say also, like, salted caramel and vanilla ice cream is the other thing that I'm getting from this.
I think we should do some science on it, and then figure out what Thad thinks of this.
Yeah, we have to hear from Thad.
No, wait.
What did that do to the nose?
So you put some water in? Is that what you
Just
did?
one drop.
Just a drop.
Generally,
Yeah,
how we do.
because you've got so little left, and one drop can dramatically change.
I mean, I think it kind of opens up a little bit in the way that they say that it does. Like, it seems a little even more accessible, more friendly. There's more more of those kind of floral and sweet smells are there, and they're gentler.
Yeah, nothing unsavory came out with the water, which sometimes happens.
I couldn't discern a difference. To me,
That's fine.
It still tasted. Yeah.
That might be just in our brains. Like, it might all just be us. You know what I mean? Like, I think anything with whiskey, it's like it's so subjective that it's like, yeah.
What did that think?
I'm not a fan of it with water.
Yeah, I'm agreeing on the taste.
With water, the taste gets way too bitter for my liking, and it's very astringent with the water, in my opinion. The nose, it brought out the sweeter smells, like Andrew said, and like it brought out angel cake for me. Without it, though, initially I got nail polish without water. Then hidden behind that, initial like alcohol smell, there was like a hint of celery, some marrow jam. I definitely agree with the honey and sweetness.
Wait, is it marrow jam or is it marjoram?
Margarine.
Sorry.
Marjoram?
Yeah.
Marjoram?
I think it's margarine.
And I'm
that
because I just want to make sure I'm not pronouncing it. Marjoram. The spice, right?
Yeah.
Margarine?
Yeah,
I think you're talking about butter.
Not margarine, marjoram.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, no, I love all these notes. Please continue.
The herb, and then
celery salt. I get that now.
And then there was like some plums or grapes, like a dark stone fruit somewhere in there. I don't know what fruit it is, but there it is. On the taste, I really enjoyed this. It was very smooth. This is one of the smoothest whiskeys I think I've ever had for taste wise. It reminded me of like sweet water, sparkling grape juice, and a little bit of white pepper. Like, there was that little bit of bite in there. The finish, I really didn't have a finish, unfortunately, which I do like a finish in my whiskey, but I didn't really have one. The closest thing that I could come up with that came to me was either rice cakes or cardboard, but it's very, 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 very faint.
I had it stick around a little bit longer for me without
had a
water.
bit of a finish for me without water. Might also be because it's early on, and it's like, I'm sure we'll have more of a finish in these ones coming up too.
Hey, so speaking of these ones coming up,
It's time to move forward.
Why don't we move forward? Put a lid on that sucker. Here, this is, I was going to say, Islay's newest distillery. Not anymore. It is a very recent, very young distillery, Kilchoman. And it's on a farm. It uses barley from
3D House of Whiskey. Sorry, that's
and most of their output, I would say almost all of their output, is a blend of sherry and ex-bourbon casks with varying percentages. And this is bottled at 46%.
Let me see that.
Machir
So what's
Bay.
up? The H? Oh, the H is very stylized and kind of
Yes.
Celtic looking, and I guess.
And they always come with this medallion. And I met
Triskelion.
the guy who glues this medallion on the bottles as they go through the bottling machine.
It's a one guy. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there was another person on the shift, but it's generally this one guy that's there during bottling.
Wow.
I can't remember his name now. It's so bad of me. Machir Bay is the bay very close to them on the north end of Islay.
I wonder what Machir means, or if it's just a name.
Machir, I don't know. I'm sure Thad will look it up for us, right?
Oh wow, this smells like Islay for sure.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Smoky.
Yeah. Okay.
Peaty. Yeah.
Smoky peaty.
It's got like, I've had so many smoky peaty whiskeys. Like this is definitely like the milder one, but it's not so mild that it's like there's a hint of it. Like it's there, but it's not like, you know. I don't know. Actually, no. There's burning rubber in there. Like this is
burning rubber.
Like all these notes don't sound like they're good, but the burning rubber it's the delicious end of the burning rubber in the nose.
It's like if you were an alien and you ate burning rubber and it was your favorite food, and you were like, more burning rubber, humans.
Or maybe like my younger sister when she was pregnant. Every time we passed a truck that was tarring the road, fixing the cracks in the pavement, she'd like want to stop, and she would just like want to jump out the car and just like grab a chunk of it and chew on it.
Really? Wow.
I understand it. If it smelled like this to her, I get it completely.
Yeah. Yeah. See, now that, like last time Robert was like, when are we sipping it? Now I'm like, when are we sipping it?
Are we sipping it?
Let's do it.
We can sip it.
Ooh.
Okay. Now that has significantly more bite and heat, even though going up. Although it's still very smooth.
Yeah.
But there is more bite and heat.
I didn't get any bite and heat this time around.
That's good.
I don't know.
I did. Oh, here's that nose. Go right back into the nose. That's my favorite.
Yes, the peat is knocked down after the taste.
Yeah.
Wow. Robert, sometimes if you can hold it in your mouth and just kind of move it around for 2 to 8 seconds, you might find the heat appears suddenly. Oh, that's a yummy finish. That's
Oh, well,
You know what? This might be my favorite whiskey.
What?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Of all time?
Sure.
Oh, I mean, today.
Right now it is. I might change my mind in 10 minutes.
Robert, this happens like 3 times a show.
Oh, I thought
It doesn't always happen 3 times a show. That would be a really good show. If it happens 3 times a show, that's a great show. I'd say it happens on average twice a show.
Okay.
That would be my guess.
Probably on average, yeah.
I thought this one was momentous. Like, really, Joseph, all these years, this is my favorite.
Finally
I
found
think it's a category. It's a category. It's not exclusive.
This kind of, it reminds me of like a Kalila, like a smoky Kalila, or like Islay Straight. It kind of reminds me of Islay Straight.
I get more of a Caligula.
Caligula. Yeah. Yeah. Good job, Robert. Our goal is to make Andrew snort the whiskey out his nose. That is our goal.
I don't like that tasting experience.
Right. It's too stabby.
And I fucking love that tasting experience when it happens to Andrew.
Oh, this is better.
Fair enough.
Machir Bay is a small bay on the western coast of the Isle of Islay.
Yep.
In the inner Hebrides.
Hebrides.
Hebrides of Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
The Hebrides.
Yeah, so it's a nice hike from Colilla, or no, if you're from Kilchoman to go over to.
So the Hebrides, those are mountains. Is that just a name, or does Hebrides mean something? And also, what does Machir mean? It doesn't. We still don't know what it means. Does it mean anything?
I mean, it sounds like it's Gaelic, so it probably means something.
Yeah.
But the Hebrides are the chain of islands off the coast there.
So they're islands.
Yeah, Arran. I mean, obviously they're associated with mountains most of the time.
Let me look it up. I've got the Book of Runes here, so.
I'd like to know if that has it.
It is one of the features, of course, the tipsy asparagus with bringing the knowledge. It is one of the features of the Rins of Islay, and lies within a few hundred meters of the small settlement of Kilchoman.
There you go. Well,
Still, this just gives me more questions. What are Rins?
I don't know. What's Rins with you?
Rins, that's what you do when you're done drinking and you want to get your glass clean.
No, like
yeah, you rinse it out.
Marché also means walk in French. Okay. Marché. I don't think the French ever colonized there. No.
Yeah, the English went to France and Brittany, but I don't think it happened the other way around. Although, I mean, technically the Romans colonized Britain, so I mean, they went through France. Right?
Right, but I think Islay was mostly left untouched. I don't think anyone ever.
I really like this.
Oh my gosh, this is my favorite whiskey. Like the more I've tasted it, and the more I knows it, it is.
The thing I like about it is a very smoky peaty whiskey, but it's gently smoky peaty, and it like grows on you, and there's some really nuanced smells in there and tastes. Like it's really like, if I was gonna get someone into smoky peaty whiskey, I think this is what I would give them to like to get into it.
Yeah, an intro too. Yeah, and Andrew, the suggestion to let it kind of sit in the mouth for 2 to 8 seconds. What a big difference that makes.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
It's moving around almost like you're chewing it. Really lets it.
Yeah. I like to really like even open my mouth and just kind of nom it,
And just have it drool down your.
No, that wastes the whiskey.
Oh, that was sweet.
That's awesome. You didn't save any for science.
Oh shit. Well, I still have more.
Yeah, you can pour some more in. I don't know if I want to science this. I'm going to wait and see what the people say. It smells like a waterfall for me. Like a campfire next to a waterfall.
Oh, there's
also like graham crackers, I want to say. It smells and tastes like graham crackers a little bit, like burnt graham crackers.
The water in the nose brings out a little bit more of the sweetness. I think it disperses a little of the peat.
I haven't done this in a while, but if this was a house, it would be a gingerbread house that is on fire. Like it's like, oh no, the witches! Oh, help, save my house! And anyway.
And everybody's standing around going, "You're a witch! Why would we save you?"
But also the house is made of gingerbread, so delicious. But then if you put water on it, it gets soggy. Oh, wait a minute. Andrew thinks it's what's going on.
I think this might be a green dot. This is or blue dot. This is
plus
with water.
I'll put some water in and see.
I think so, but let's hear Thad. Let's hear Thad.
Thad,
I'm gonna try it. I trust Andrew.
I haven't tasted it with water yet. I just added water. The nose for me doesn't really change that much with water. Without water, I got obviously a smoldering campfire like on a salty beach. Just walking along there. Past that, I got some overripe bananas, leather boots, and copper and pennies. Like that smell like when you have a ton of coins and you run your hands through it and then you smell your hands. Like that definitely came through. For me, the taste without water was a bit of an enigma. It kept on escaping me. Like smoldering coals are there, which I personally love. I love when the nose is like that and then you get a taste like that. It's a complete experience for me. But I also got like bacon and some like really earthy notes. Like if you were to like chew on like a root or something, like just because, why not?
It reminds me of hot springs, like Yellowstone, like the bubbling, like that's sort of the kind of a little bit of the sulfury sort of hot spring smell too with the water.
Yeah, I'm almost getting bananas with water, which
Yeah.
makes no sense.
It
It makes no sense.
Well,
no,
if you
definitely bananas. Yeah.
want no sense, I got the porcelain of a public water fountain.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
no, I'm not. I'm not. That's
awesome.
really when it came through, and it brought
I'm
me.
not being sarcastic. I agree with you. Yeah, 100%, man.
Well,
I mean, part of this is also, we are kind of a little bit kind of like putting these thoughts in each other's heads, but I mean, sometimes someone will have a tasting note and I'll go like, nope, you're crazy. But
Yeah, but sometimes they just resonate and you're going like, I couldn't quite put my finger on that taste, but boom, that's it.
It does smell to me like a public water fountain or the water of a public water fountain, but it also that kind of resonates with the coins thing that Thad was saying, you know what I mean? Like the to me, it's more the metal of a public water fountain or like a public, fountain in general,
This is a great whiskey. It is a very common outturn. I believe K&L still has, I don't know if they have this particular version of it, this batch, but this is a standard Kilchoman output, the Machir Bay. You can look it up. It's pretty reasonably priced.
nice, very nice.
I want to get some of that. There's a link to
So,
Corey's
okay,
GoFundMe
Robert.
in the chat as well. So
Oh yes, our friend Corey, back home, seems to be in high spirits, still just having trouble. But yeah, if you can help Corey, please. He's the most beautiful human. And Robert, I know we're saying this in front of you. You're the second most beautiful human we know.
Thank you very much.
But Robert,
Yes.
I know I joked at the beginning, but pickleball. What got you in? How long have you played? What's going on?
What's going on? What got me in?
I'm gonna have to pour a little more whiskey for this, I guess.
I guess, yeah. Going down
We're gonna have to talk about pickleball. I need a lot of whiskey.
I don't know. I was making a lot of pickleball jokes before the show started about covering.
Sorry,
the
Robert. Continue.
Well, you know what I found in the community. They're like communities. Depending on where you play, there's a certain characteristic of the different courts around the city. So far, I've played. I started playing at Pacific Park in Glendale, and that's a whole community unto itself. There are a lot older folks. I mean, they're my age and older, but they're out there, and they're enjoying the fact that they're out there, even though some of them are on two bad knees or hips that have been replaced and stuff like that. But there's this enthusiasm and this joy to be out doing something, with other people. So there's that.
And I asked this earlier, but I don't think I really ever got an answer. So because I honestly don't know. So for what is one sentence? What is pickleball? What is it? I've never heard of it. I mean, I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
So it's played with a green ball, which is probably why it's called pickleball. Look at that.
You come
I
prepared.
see, and it's got wiffles in it.
Why couldn't the ball be yellow or some other color? It has to be green.
There are different colors too. There's yellow and kind of an orange ball, but this is the favored ball.
That's the regulation ball.
That's the regulation ball, and that's an outdoor ball. Indoor ball will have bigger holes, not as many. But
This is getting to be longer than a sentence.
wait a minute. It's played with a paddle.
All right, you have a paddle.
Okay, like a ping pong paddle, but a little bigger.
So it's like ping pong in a tennis court, right? That is
Oh,
is that
well,
was that is that would that be a
You
good?
can say it's like ping pong tennis in a badminton court because those are the dimensions of the court
Okay.
of badminton.
Now, does the ball hit the ground, or is it you're trying to keep it in the air all the time?
This is where it gets a little complicated. When somebody serves, it bounces once, it gets returned, it bounces a second time. After the second bounce, you can start taking it out of the air, so you can volley out of the air. But those first two times, you have
The
to
first two
bounce.
times it has to bounce.
And then after that, you can bounce or you can volley out of the air. So those are, and then the other rule that pickleball players know is that there's a section called the kitchen, which is from the net to a line, and you cannot step into the kitchen past that line to hit the ball out of the air. You can do it on the other side of the line and hit it out of the air, but you can't do it inside because that would be unfair because you're right at the net, and the net isn't.
You could spike it.
So there's no slamming down. There's none of that volleyball sort of like, I'm going to murder you.
Just spike it.
But you can do that if you're on the outside of the kitchen.
And you're tall.
Helps.
Or you can jump.
Not a lot of jumping. Not a lot of jumping.
Now with
Is it not allowed?
hips being replaced, I guess.
No, you can jump. I mean, you can do anything.
So
you
the ball probably moves a bit slower because it's got kind of a wiffle
got all
ball
the wiffles.
quality to it, right? I mean, or
yes,
no?
but then when you're at the net there, what the exciting part of it is that ball is going kung 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 kung, and then maybe somebody might then throw a little change of pace and do a little what they call dinking. So you're now you're just dinking the ball over the net, dinking the ball over the net.
That sounds dirty. Do you
Do you
actually
ever
use
like
your
put
crotch?
some like flavor on the ball, like put some spin on it, like so it like
Or some-
curves or?
Some people do a little spinning on it. There are backhand spins and stuff like that. Yeah, but
Are there penalties for hitting their players in the face?
no. It just you put your hand up like that and you go fuck you. Yeah.
As much as I would love to talk about pickleball this entire show, we do have to drink another whiskey.
Let's do that.
Also,
Let's move on to number 4, and this is an SMWS, and I think this is in the spirit. It's a Loch Lomond. It's called Rugged and Medicinal.
Yeah. That's exciting.
It is 56.3%. It's a Highland Southern region refill ex-bourbon, 16-year-old, and 135.8. It's an Inchmoan, which is, I think, the peated output of Loch Lomond.
So it's a peated output of Loch Lomond, but they get their peat not off. They get it locally, right? I'm assuming.
I am not certain where they get their peat. I think they probably use Inverness as their place, which means they probably have it from around Inverness, but I wouldn't guarantee that.
And when you say peat, are you talking about actually peat moss being in the vats?
Well, not in the vats.
peat moss necessarily, but peat itself. So peat is actually vegetative matter that's been compressed and compressed and compressed over years. It doesn't burn very well. It kind of smokes, which gives it off,
It's
which
like
gives off that smoky flavor.
It's like pre-coal. It's like
Yes.
one day it will be coal.
It's on its
afterward.
way, but it won't. It's not there yet.
I see. And they use that in the process during what part of it?
Of drying the barley. So to make the barley convert into sugar, you let it germinate.
Yes.
But then when it's germinated enough for like 2 or 3 days, then you need to put it in the kiln and dry it out to say, hey, stop germinating, stop eating that sugar. I want that sugar to be able to make the malt. And so when you dry it, on the mainland, they used wood to dry it. But on Islay and other islands where wood was not readily available, they dug up the ground and they burnt the ground, which smoked and gave it that kind of smoky flavor.
Oh, okay. See, this is fantastic. I didn't know that. I hope somebody else learned something. I did.
It does make me wonder, like, what other things could you use to like dry the, besides peat, there's got to be other things you could use to dry it. That would be really, I think, an interesting point in the process to add an interesting flavor,
Well, you could throw hot rocks, heat up rocks and dry it that way, but I don't think you'd get
Dung. Yeah.
No,
Tipsy Asparagus is thinking outside the box. No, that was from the chat. Someone said dung. Dung burns.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a shitty taste.
Yeah.
to it.
Like, what if you actually use diesel gasoline? What would that do? Plastics. All right. Tipsy
No,
Asparagus.
that's dangerous. No, I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can think that like maybe if you use a hickory wood or something, that might impart a flavor. Oh no, Joseph already, I think it's his favorite whiskey.
I'm sorry. I thought we were sniffling it and I'm enjoying it.
It's good.
No,
It's my favorite whiskey. Forget it.
For sure,
Forget
it is my favorite whiskey. Now that is absolutely medicinal.
That is
It
so
smells
different.
like if you took like cough syrup and like NyQuil and some other things and like mixed them all together into an alcohol, but it smelled good.
It did. Oh my God! It cleared the sinuses. Definitely right.
But there's also like a sense of like a an herbal medicine in here, like something that's like infused with like these herbs will heal you, sort of a magic potion sort of sense.
Very
like,
magic potion-y.
Yeah, or like an infused alcohol, where they take gin and infuse it with flavors like teas and stuff. Like it kind of smells like that too.
Oh wow, God!
And a little bit like that when you lick an envelope.
Yeah.
This is, oh my God, this is my favorite whiskey. This is incredible.
There's no, and we haven't even tasted it yet. Yeah, there's no. This is like a whiskey. This is one of those whiskeys that's like here's some smells. You're gonna smell them. Like it's not subtle. It's like, yeah, you like this? Here's some more of it.
Didn't like that? Here's something else.
Yeah, try this one then. Yeah, give you this.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out to our friend Brian Green and his Ben Ewan whiskey glass, which I purchased 4 of. A little different shape than the Glencarran, a little bit wider flare up here, and I do get a lot of really good nosing notes out of it from this shape. So if you're interested, benewan.com, I think it is. I'll put it in the chat in a moment.
It also smells like kumquats and sawdust.
I don't know kumquats, but I'll give you the sawdust.
I'm getting a little bit of vanilla. But that's me.
Oh,
what was that?
I don't know. Someone's alarm went off.
Oh, that was me. I'm sorry. I don't know how to mute these alerts and stuff.
A good way to mute stuff is to drink some whiskey. Let's taste it.
Okay.
I'll wait for you guys. As soon as you're in.
All right, yeah, let's taste it. Let's taste it, because this is. Oh, it's different.
Ooh.
It is different, but it is like even more medicinal. It's different, but different medicines.
I just want to say, and this is faint praise, I'm kind of disappointed the nose doesn't pay off with the taste.
For me, it did. The nose and the taste, like that was a good line for me. Like it was
Really?
a bit over, but for me, the nose led to the taste very well. Although the taste for me is more fruity, like there's a fruit salad in there, or it's like more of a fruit punch or like a medicine flavored like a fruit punch for kids, kind of a little bit.
Really?
A fruit
punch for kids.
Where they put like medicine, so it's like kids will like it. They put flavor, like berry flavor in it and shit. They
put medicine in fruit punch for kids?
Here's the thing, Andrew. I fucking love whiskey. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
I mean, I agree. There was a medicinal kind of, and it burned nicely. It was, here again, it was a nice kind of like, ooh, yeah. If I had gingivitis, it's dead.
Yeah.
I felt it was burning forward. Like I didn't get a lot of the burn at the back. It's all right up in the front, which is kind of odd.
It is interesting. And there's that nose. Man, I love going back to the nose. I'm getting more, I think more of like a little bit of the peat in there with the nose now. That I didn't so much when I first It is rugged. It is rugged and medicinal.
Yeah. But there's something like a little caramel to it or something that kind of after.
The kind of thick coating. Yeah. I find it stays long after you've swallowed it. It's the finish really drags itself out. Just kind of going, I'm going to take my time. Here I come. Oh, no, too fast.
For me, it's like something like a fruit dipped in caramel that you wouldn't normally put in caramel, like raspberries in caramel or something like that, or like mixed berries in caramel.
Kiwi and caramel? Is that too
maybe? Because I definitely get raspberry and cherry, I think, but to me, it's like a melange of fruits.
A melange.
Maybe a little pear or nectarine.
Well, horse had melange. I had to shoot it.
Or just this, it's like spice. It's the spice.
Oh. Nice tune. Nice tune.
The scotch is the spice is the scotch.
Yes. Oh man, this is great stuff.
Yeah, this is really good. This is like this is a great whiskey.
I think this is the best pairings that we've. I mean, what I've had so far, it's blown my mind. Let's just put it that way, and opened up my mind too as to the variety and the subtlety and so. Thank you guys.
Oh,
No,
Robert, we're not even done yet.
I know you're not.
But
I know.
Thank
know.
you
It's
for being
why-
on the show. That's why we love
Absolutely.
it. That's why we love it.
This is why we do it. It's like we're trying to show people like what's available in whiskey. We have tasted so many wonderful flavors, and we want to bring that to
Yeah, yeah.
We
everybody.
just like to share it.
This is definitely a service to the people like me, especially, who have been on the outside, just kind of going, nah, because here again, all I had to as reference was that one time somebody like, here's some whiskey, and then it's just burned.
That time that woman with the mustache gave you some whiskey.
Right. Yeah.
And no judgment on her,
No.
and her
If
mustache.
you want to have a
like,
mustache, have a mustache.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
nothing at all. But she didn't like ease you in.
Yeah, and here two people, one with a beard and then one with some stubble, have changed my life.
Listen, just you don't have to call us heroes,
Well,
but we'll accept it.
Yeah, it's
And
fine.
Joseph and I will accept it.
Are you gonna though? Yeah, this is like I do like now this one I'm kind of like I'm split about sciencing because I feel like it could do some interesting stuff, but I also like I'm like, oh, it's so good I don't know if I want to.
Wow.
Oh, Andrew's sciencing it right
I'm
now.
going to science it.
Thad, do you want to tell us about it while Andrew enjoys the science? What you did without science? What you thought?
Oh, I already scienced it, and
It's way ahead of us.
I'm gonna say no to science.
Oh, fuck.
But so the whole reason is because it made the nose very singular for me. It kind of like muted everything down to like it's like no, smell this one specific note and that's it.
I would agree.
The taste for me, it brought out more bitter, astringent, and like licorice flavors on the palate for me, which
With water?
yeah, with water, which isn't always my jam. So like going from what it offered before to that, just kind of, it's a no for me. But without water on the nose, I'm just gonna warn you up front. I'm going a completely different place than you all went. So here we go. Right off the bat, I got paint, like open up paint. I got really sweet notes like Twinkies, confectioner's sugar. I definitely got the medicinal with a methanol wintergreen type of smell. And then very, very, very weirdly, I got something like seafood in a tomato-based sauce. So like mussels or clams. But it has
Manhattan clam chowder?
no, it can't be in clam chowder. It has to be in a tomato-based sauce.
Yeah, like a red sauce.
Yeah, red sauce.
Isn't Manhattan chowder red sauce?
Oh, it might be actually.
Oh, you said
sorry.
Manhattan chowder. I thought you just said clam chowder.
Yeah, sorry, it may be. And then past that, I definitely agree with the vanilla note. I got Play-Doh and an old oak closet that you were in. It was all over the place. I loved the nose before I added the water to it.
The water, yeah, I would say absolutely not on the nose. I agree with you. It's just killed it. You got Plato. I got more Socrates.
I got Aristotle. Or did I?
I drink, therefore I am. On the taste for me, it was hot. But I also agree. It's a very nice burn. It's hot, but it's not like I want to hurt you. It's like a warm hotness.
Yeah.
I also got it was a little funky for me. I got some printer toner. And then yeah, and then I weirdly got like kombucha, but not like, it's like when you first drink kombucha, not when you're done drinking the glass of kombucha.
Right.
I think I would have had to have drank kombucha to know what that was.
Kombucha is an acquired taste for sure. Like it's like the first time I had it, I'm like, I'm never drinking that again. It tastes like vinegar. Now I drink it all the time. Like it's a weird, I don't know.
I'm with you, Andrew. I never tasted kombucha. Kombucha?
Kombucha.
It does taste like vinegar, but hey, you know, I'm not gonna judge. Like, this tastes like printer toner, right? I mean,
Which one?
I love it.
Or Epson?
It just, to me, yeah. When Thad said that, it's like the room where all the printing goes, or like if you go to like a you know a Fry's or like an Office Depot, and all the printer tone, like that you're in that area and all the printers are running. I don't know, but yeah, definitely printer toner.
Robert, I think I forgot to tell you this before the show started, but I fucking love whiskey.
What? I wouldn't have guessed.
Oh my God, I adore that whiskey.
Yeah, that's a really good whiskey.
That was good.
Thank you, man.
But
I
may have had a preview of this next whiskey.
Oh.
What, you tasted it? You pre-tasted?
I pre-tasted. Not today, but before it was on the show.
Seems like you like it.
Look at the color. Yeah, I may have gone a little crazy on this one.
The Glengyle?
It's just a Glengyle. It's a Kilkerran, 8-year-old. But this is an Oloroso cask finish. Just, oh my God. Oh my God. It's 57.1%. So it's a beast, but
I feel like I've seen this whiskey before. Where have I seen this before? We've not had it on the show before? We've had this label on the show before. We've had Kilkerran on the show before.
I've seen it,
but we have not.
Kilkerran is a distiller or an independent bottler?
Glengyle is the distillery, and their output is called Kilkerran, so it confuses people because there's really no other output they have, just Kilkerran.
Okay.
So some people call it Kilkerran instead of Glengyle. Glengyle's a distillery. Kilkerran is the name of it, just like Ardbeg, Ugadal.
Right. Okay. Huh. Interesting. So we've had other Glengyles then before on the show.
Yes, we have, because this thing.
That logo is very distinctive. I know I've seen it. Yeah.
And it's Campbeltown. They have like maybe 2 weeks of output, 3 weeks of output, because they basically only open this distillery up when they're cleaning the why am I blanking on it? Long Row, Hazelburn, and Springbank.
So wait, so Glengyle is like, they only we're cleaning the other distillery, so we're going to open up the auxiliary distillery and use that for a while. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So here's the deal. So a lot of distilleries closed in Campbeltown and left only with Springbank and the Glen Scotia. And the National Scotch Board, that's probably not what it's called, I can't remember, of Scotland was saying, well, then you've only got 2 distilleries. We should just roll you into the Highlands or the Lowlands. I can't remember which. And the guy who owns this distillery, who owns Springbank, said, you can't do that. We're a distinct region. Campbelltown is really
Campbelltown. We are not
exactly.
the Highlands or the Lowlands.
So he opened up Glengyle, and it is really, it's all the same property. You just kind of walk over from Springbank to Glengyle. It's the same tour. And when they're cleaning Springbank, they open up Kilkerran or Glengyle, and they make this whiskey. But this aged in Oloroso, oh my God. Let's get into it. Let's taste it. Because
are we going to smell it?
Very different.
Or smell it, yes.
Are we going to smell it for? I want to smell it before we start.
Okay.
We are going to smell
it. Robert, I'm sorry. I spoke wrong.
Okay.
I spoke wrong. Favorite whiskey alert.
Oh, wow. Chocolate.
Damn.
Chocolate. Boom. I get that instantly.
Yeah. Like Tootsie Rolls. But like, once again, Tootsie Rolls of the gods. Like if Tootsie Rolls were good, they're
if Tootsie Rolls were made from real chocolate.
Or just God's taking a little poop and it's like a little Tootsie Roll poop. That's probably what it would smell.
That is a valid tasting note. I can't disagree with that.
God's poop chocolate.
I do feel like this is what like a Gustav Klumt or whatever the kid was who fell into the river of chocolate at the Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. This is what he smelled. Like he was like, but also yes.
This is
like this is what he smelled as he was stuck in the pipe as he was shooting through the chocolate. All of that. This is it.
Oh. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez, a little charcoal too, or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A little maybe faint peaty. I'm not sure.
It definitely has like that sort of Maillard reaction, sort of roasted deliciousness. But it's like, you know what? It kind of mole sauce. It kind of reminds me of mole sauce because that has that same sort of like
Smokiness. Yeah, yeah. There's a
yeah.
yeah. Chocolate, smoky, right.
Oh, this remains my favorite whiskey. Every time I nose it, I'm finding new things, like pencil eraser in there.
Yeah, pencil eraser for sure.
And just a throwback to the previous mimeographs. Which
Okay.
nobody know. I'm
Like the
No,
Xerox
I'm
machine.
old enough to know, Robert.
A ditto machine. That's what they call
ditto
it.
machine.
The ditto machine.
not really, but man, this is
Oh. Okay, we got to go in.
I
I
gotta
want to stay in
taste
this nose forever, but we have to go in.
God. Yeah. 57% this is.
oh.
It does not seem like
It does not seem
It
57.
seems the same as the last one. Like there's some heat, but although that finish, man, woo, boy, oh boy.
Oh, that's yummy. Oh,
Yeah.
that is. It's like it's.
That finish is great. It's like walk with me to the chocolate and caramel city for a while. I'm leaving you, but walk with me part of the way there. Together, we shall go among the rocks of cacao and roasted meringue.
Oh my God. Oh, Andrew, this
Do
is
you remember like the first time you went to a Belgian chocolate shop? Like you'd only been to like C's Candies or in Canada Laura Seacard, and you thought, oh, that's what good chocolate's like. And then you went into a Belgian chocolate shop and you had the first little bonbon. You're like, it just blew the top of your head off. That's how I feel when I'm tasting this whiskey. It's just.
Well, we've all been to a Belgian chocolate shop, Andrew. So I mean,
If you haven't, find one.
I think I might have. I've been to Belgium, but like I do feel like that's a bit presumptuous to assume we've all
Is
been to
it
a Belgian
presumptuous?
chocolate shop.
I mean, going from like a mass-produced chocolate shop to one of these like, boutique chocolate shops where there's a chef that goes, I fucking love chocolate. I love chocolate. I'm going to make chocolate, and you are going to eat chocolate, and you're going to love it.
I will say I do feel like if like I went to the chocolate shop from the movie Chocolat, that's what this would
Yes.
that's what this would taste like.
I think most chocolatiers are not as militant as I just portrayed them. I apologize.
that was more like the soup Nazi.
Yeah, that was like the chocolate Nazi. No chocolate for you. I don't know, Robert. What do you think? Do you have any thoughts?
It's delicious. It is. The way you've arranged these tastings, it just got better and better.
It was done randomly.
No, come on. I mean, that's
It's done randomly. I hate to tell you.
Really? Are you-
Random.org is sponsoring our podcast, or are they? They could be. Random.org. You need a number? We got your number, buddy.
They're giving us random whiskey pairings. I mean, I guess that's, in a way they're sponsoring us. They're not giving us any money, but
You know what? Random.org, you could throw a little cash our way because we'll send people your way. Like,
but
all
please,
of our
no
like
more,
100
no
viewers.
chaos. Don't send any. We have plenty of entropy. We don't need more of that.
Oh, this no. To me, it just seemed to get better and better and better. But I'm a novice, but I'm also a convert. I mean, what you've introduced me to is just a whole world of just artistry, I guess is the best way to put it.
And I hope that in some way, like if you go to a bar and you order a neat scotch, like you can appreciate what they were doing in making this if you're getting a single malt.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting Glenfiddich, do it whatever way you want. Go ahead. I mean, it's a single malt, but it's married. It's many casks together. They're trying to hit a consistent flavor profile. And I'll say that about Macallan too. They're trying to hit a consistent flavor profile. But these single cask experience, and this is a single cask, or actually it's probably not. It's probably a vatting of like but maybe 20 casks all put together. It's remarkable
It's
what
art.
comes
You're
out
right.
of
It's
these
art,
things.
Robert. Yeah,
Well,
it's art.
It's art.
Popular. I mean, you're not going to get after those casts. That's it. Ellen Idelson. Joseph knows Ellen Idelson.
I just only know by reputation.
Her favorite quote to me when she referred to improv, it was like improv is sculptures and smoke. It's there, and then it just goes away. And I guess in a way that kind of refers to you got that select cast enjoy, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is what Scotch is in, to a large degree, because when it's gone, it's gone. And that's why people are so obsessed with it. And that is why these wealthy individuals are buying these very expensive bottles, because there are some people who are buying expensive bottles because they're like, I want that flavor and I want to enjoy that flavor. Like those people actually exist, but they create, I think, this demand for these other people who are like, oh, this Scotch is $1,000 a bottle, it's $5,000 a bottle. Like, that's fine, but that doesn't mean it's a great Scotch or that you're going to appreciate it just because it costs that much,
No, and a lot of people are crazy about Pappy Van Winkle, which honestly I've had.
It's
Joseph's
very interesting.
had.
Like, yeah, it's not like it's great, but it's like, yeah,
it's a great bourbon, but it's this good and the price is that good. So you can get something that's just as good as a Pappy Van Winkle at a much lower price going to other bourbon distilleries. And the same thing with Scotch. You don't have to spend a fortune. Like Macallan, I like their output, but every time I look at a Macallan, I think it's like 35% too high in terms of its price compared to Scotch of the same quality from other distillers. That's the name. Anyways,
and
age
it's
and
also
rarity
what
don't make a Scotch good.
Yeah.
What you like makes a Scotch good.
It's also what the crowd goes to too, because it's like, they're just like regular people are like, well, Macallan, that's what I get if I want to be, have a Scotch, right? It's,
It's the name they know. They think, oh, it must be good. It's Macallan. Of course, it's going to be good. It's like, I hope today you've had a wide assortment of Scotches and you've seen that, like, oh my gosh, there's amazing stuff out there from brand names you've never heard.
I also think it's interesting, like a 20-year or a 10-year will be more expensive than like an 8-year or a 12-year, because people like, just because it's like, 8 years. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Our first one was 21.
And
I would guess you like this
good,
better.
like it's not like, oh, only decades. That's the only, right. It's like, it tastes good when it tastes good. Like if someone is sipping it every year to see where it's at, and someone's like, oh, at 13 years is like, this is it, it's good, then
this has gone up against a 21-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a Kilchoman, which we don't know, but probably about 5 to 6 years old. But this 8-year-old, like, it's blown the doors off everything we've had today, I think.
I have to agree, and I'm new to this, but this has been such what a great experience, and opening up a door that I had not really gone through to sample these artists. I'll just put it that way, because I think when you're doing something like this, there has to be passion and love, and of course there's technical skill involved in all of this.
Oh, lots, yep.
But
there is artistry. You need to say, oh, I see where this cask is going. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it, or I'm going to push it. Maybe I'll transfer it to another cask. They do amazing things.
And it's so simple. Like the ingredients are like, there's very few ingredients, and it's just so simply done. Robert, I'm so glad I could share this with you. You're one of my oldest and dearest friends. So I'm so glad we could have you on the show. We'll definitely have you back at some point.
I would love to be back because this is just an education. And I think part of anything that we're doing, be it entertainment, ritual, whatever you want to call it, but education is part of this too. It's just like expanding people's, awareness of just what's out there. And you guys are doing a great service.
You know, that was so heartfelt and so wonderful, Robert. I kind of hate to bring it down on a serious note here.
Oh, fuck, what?
Um,
Hold on.
Yeah, take a sip.
yeah. Oh, just take some bracing sip. Okay. Fuck, that's good.
Wait, before we do this, do we want to get Thad's tasting notes really quick on this?
Yes.
Oh, yes, absolutely we should. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
All right, I'll just run through these super quick. I don't know if this is my favorite out of the bunch. I really enjoyed it. With water, I would say it is definitely try it if you're into it. I don't think it destroys it. But off the nose, without water, I got, like a big salted fluffy pretzel, some scotch tape, some chalky fruit vitamins, and then it turned into some unsweetened cereals. And there was funk that I associated with the gym locker room. I definitely got the chocolate, like a chocolate dusting in there, and some apple cinnamon pie. On the taste, it was awesome. It was very. I don't know how to put it. Like I got like it was velvety. I got Sharpies in there, like an oak chest and some furniture polish and some Campari. Moving on to water, it made the nose more savory for me. I got like olives in there, and after I let it sit a while, that soft like salted big pretzel like transformed into some mac and cheese. And then the taste, it got a lot sweeter. I got some sweet cake, some grapes, and like a citrus glaze coming out. And yeah,
Well,
it was awesome.
I hate to tell you, Thad, you're wrong on.
Hey, that's
No,
fine.
your notes are always great. I really appreciate it. But I love this whiskey. I can't even.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Now
Augusta-
back to the serious
Augusta
question that we have.
Oh yes.
For Robert.
Robert.
I think, aren't we out of time? We're
No.
No, we have
You
to
have
ask
to
this. We have
answer
to ask
this.
this.
We've got to ask it. You've got to answer it.
All right.
You've had five whiskeys altogether today, including the warm up, which we did off camera.
Yeah.
And I mean,
This is tough for us to ask. It seems rude. It seems very rude. We've had this jovial time this whole time, and we come up and we have to ask you this.
it's very personal. It's a really personal question.
It's really personal.
Well, you need my Venmo number, or I mean, I'll pay for this.
Maybe, but before we get that,
Yeah.
let me just ask, Robert,
Yeah.
do you like whiskey?
I fucking love whiskey now. You've succeeded in your mission statement, if that's what it was. It's exposing people to, especially me, who had this one experience, which I found to be, a negative experience. It's like, yeah, thank you, but no thanks. And you opened up a whole fucking world to me. And so mission accomplished. Thank you so much, man.
I am so relieved.
This is the ideal outcome.
Yeah, as it should be. Who knew? And this is, like I said before, this is the beautiful thing. I mean, there are people out there that are just pouring their heart into something that they're passionate about, and they're sharing it with us. And you, Andrew, and Joseph are doing the same thing. You're just kind of opening up the world to, like, look at this, folks. This world, you look at the world and it is so fucked up for the most part. But yet, if you take the time and breathe and take a chance and open yourself up, there's such glorious, glorious things to be experienced in this life that we have ahead of us.
You're a poet, Robert.
I love Robert Covarrubias.
Beautiful.
Thank you, guys.
Second best person we know.
Thank you, guys.
Listen, thank you, Outside In Theater. Please follow. I think in the future we are going to try to do this thing live, and that might happen next season, maybe in the fall. Like,
By
Let's
live, we
find
mean
it.
we'll all be in the same room together. That's what we're talking about, right?
We'll all be in the same room together. I also want to do.
We'll
this
have an
with
audience.
the
Is that what you're saying?
Audience, yes, and the audience,
And you'll
maybe
be able
can
to taste the
along.
whiskeys. Oh,
That's
yeah.
really what the hope is. That's the
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we need to spread this more than one person at a time.
Yeah.
We need to bring it to everyone. I fucking love whiskey. I love sharing it with people. This is the best hour of my week. Every week it makes me happy. So, anyways,
Wow.
Outside In Theater. Follow them. Follow us. Like us on the socials. Do all that following and stuff. Stuff. I'm so good with this socials.
Like and subscribe, everybody. Like and subscribe.
Yep. Thumbs up and do the thingamajubers. Listen, thank you to Thad for being the best tasting notes and also the most fantastic technical director we could ever have. I love everything that he's brought to the show with all of the nonsense that happens on screen. I want to thank Geek Filter for our graphics and you guys for watching and Robert for being such a fantastic guest. How's that?
Yeah, thanks, Robert.
Thank you guys. Thank you for inviting me.